Hello, and welcome to this video on my tips on starting your adventure in Fallout 76. Now, this first one might seem like it shouldn't be a tip or shouldn't be told to you because it's aspects of a choice, but in the long run, trust me, you'll thank me. As is, when you start in with, say, the choices of your perks, and there's like so much we can dive into there, but the main thing is, for my adventuring and everything, and this will truly help me, help you, from me experience this, and just it's a good starting point. Is at least with the first 5 levels, when you first start leveling up, the thing you should level up in those first 5 is strength. Trust me, you're gonna want to do this because you become over encumbered a lot. I have become over encumbered a lot, even when after I found a suit. I can't remember what those things are called. Sorry, I hate my mind. It's just I wish I had better memory, but you know, one of those like suits you see the Brotherhood in a lot. What is this? Sorry. But whatever, you know those like big suits you can put in and it helps act as weight and stuff and everything. But yeah, even with that, I've become over encumbered, and not to mention they take those fusion cells. You know, if you know what I'm saying with fusion cells, you know what I'm talking about. That suit, you know, you gotta use those, and those are also kind of hard to find, and you can at some point start making them, but they themselves become a bit of a, you know, it's the supplies and everything. But yeah, you become over encumbered a lot. Trust me, you're gonna want to up your strength at least the first 5 levels, because the thing is with tip number 2 is you want to collect everything and turn it into junk. You just want to, because at least the 2 most important things you want to hold on to make sure you can turn it into junk is aluminum and adhesive. Anything that you can find that can be turned into that for, you know, repairs or creating stuff, you're gonna want to have. You know, just collect as much as you can. Trust me, you're gonna need it, because like I said, the 2 most ones that are hardest to find are aluminum and adhesive. So anything you can like there's like a way to in all the Fallout games, it's like you can see it, like it glows and stuff, like it highlights it for you. In the game, you want to gonna do that, at least with stuff that's adhesive and aluminum. Trust me, you're gonna want to hold all of that stuff, hoard it, just hoard it. But number 3, unfortunately, as it has been stated from Bethesda, at least from what narrative I have found, as at least after a while, especially if you start really majorly adventuring into some territories, you want to buddy up with people, especially friends. You know, as much as they say, you know, we can try this solo, as I have been doing, it is better with friends. It is, unfortunately, because especially I've come across 2 different legendary creatures with 3 different encounters, 2 of them being the same creature. That is, I just couldn't win because they seriously kick your butt. I'm like even up to like almost level 25, and they've been hurting me. Like, the first one I came across, I almost could probably have defeated, but the game froze, so I had to boot it back up. And of course, when I spawned back into that area, it's gone and stuff. So I'd lost all the possible good loot I could have had if I kept respawning in. Because the thing is, it kept killing me, and I kept being forced to respawn into that area, which I was okay with. You know, I was like, okay, we're gonna keep being forced to respawn in here and still attacking it. Because I could probably just, you know, said fuck it and run away, but no, I just kept attacking it. Unfortunately, like I said, the game froze, so I couldn't really get loot, and so, you know, I just lost a bunch of ammo, hurt a bunch of my guns, and armor for nothing. And I came across another one. The first one was that big bat creature. I'm just letting you know that right now, because that thing's a bitch to fight. If you're gonna ever come across that thing, make sure you have friends with you. It's a hard thing to fight. But I came across another one that was like at this campsite. It was like a freaking like I don't know how to describe it. It's just like this big creature. Have you ever seen this movie called Legion? It stars Paul Bettman. I can't say his last name. The dude who plays Vision in the Avengers movies. You know him. He was in this kind of like end of the world apocalypse movie called Legion. And at one point, there's this guy who gets like, well, it's a demon that, or not a demon, actually, it's angels. There's mostly angels. But an angel possesses the body of a human, as many of the angels do in the movie. But he just like stretches himself out. He comes out of an ice cream and he's like his arms and legs and just like become 3 times as long as any natural human. It's just the legs and the arms that just get stretched out. And kind of his neck too a bit, but it was kind of like that creature, but a little not as long as legs and or like twice the size of Gollum, basically. You know, whatever. You know, but it was a beast, and I could tell it was legendary for 2 reasons. One, it kept kicking my ass. Two, it had like the first one. It kind of had this like roar about it, like it just like it would like do so much damage to it too. It's just like there was just so much about it, and unfortunately, I did find an advantage to fighting it, but unfortunately, after a couple of hits here and there, I guess it's despawned for some reason. Like it was a kind of almost a time different area, and it was like the day came. It was like I was fighting it all throughout the night. I think it's like a creature that only comes out at night. So you know, it was daytime and it was gone. So it was probably a time thing because, like I said, it was probably only a night creature. It only comes out at night. But yeah, when it comes to playing the game, especially in the later, excuse me, some of the later areas and stuff, especially against the legendary creatures, you're gonna want to team up with friends. Hands down, you'll want to team up with them. Like I said, man, if you've ever come across these legendary creatures, find people or find friends that are online, even if they're not playing the game at the moment and then you know that they have games. Tell them you're fighting a legendary creature because they'll probably want to get on that because they're probably going to get some major good loot. So yeah, don't matter if they're on the game or not. Tell me that you're fighting a legendary creature because they're probably going to get off whatever they're playing or doing and just get on to help kick its ass and get its loot. So yeah, play with friends, especially if you're fighting legendaries. Oh yeah, so much so. Trust me. Trust me. Another one. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Cause outside those guides, you can probably figure out most of this stuff. Like, well, here's one with your camp. Your camp. It can be moved. You know, it will cost caps, but not that much. But if you're coming more and more to areas where you're like just getting your butt kicked and stuff, and trust me, you're gonna want to do this. You want to keep moving your camp. As much as it does cost caps, it doesn't cost that much. But you're gonna want to move it because, from at least I found, it might be a bug. I'm not sure if it is a bug or not. But at some point, if you die enough, there's nowhere to respawn but Fallout. Then the Fallout 76. Nothing gets highlighted at some point when you gotta respawn sometimes, other than Fallout 76 and just your death area, and you can't respawn at your death area. You can only respawn at locations. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's a bug, a glitch, or if it's actually intended after certain amounts of death or whatever, or just my cat's going a little wild there. But at some points, it just seems like there's nowhere to spawn but Fallout 76. So you're going to want to have your camp moving sometimes here and there because fast traveling / teleporting to other locations, especially like near your death, cost caps itself. But when you have a camp somewhere, you just can teleport it for free. So you want to continually sometimes moving your camp to locations. That way you're near the area you died, and if you do have, unfortunately, the effect where you have to only respawn in Fallout 76, at least you can fast travel to an area near your death for free, no caps. Because caps themselves are hard to come by as well, so yeah. Always be moving your camp. Trust me. It'll save you some money in the long run. What else? Maybe you might do this, but my advice is to not, and that is in selling ammo. Always hold your ammo. But okay, I just thought of a major tip to give you a heads up on something. These, you know how they have this your stash container? I'm not sure if you played the beta yet or not, or learned about this, but there is a limit to what you can stash in there. There is. So if you come across guns or armor or stuff that you couldn't hold on to anymore, you're gonna want to like deconstruct all that stuff, you know, turn it into junk, whatever, or find somebody to sell. Because Figure out and remember your places of bots you can sell stuff to, because there's some stuff that you can't turn into junk scraps to repair things. There's like special weapons and weapons and armor that can't be junked, and some of them I've dropped because I've become over encumbered. Like I said, took one there. First 5 levels at least, do strength. But yeah, if you're not gonna need that stuff, sell it as soon as possible. Because if they got like a star next to it, or star and a special name, it's just stuff that you can't junk. So if you don't see yourself using that and you come across something you can sell your weapons or armor to, mainly bots, because there's like no humans in this world unless you're another AI, another person, and you want to possibly maybe trade with them, just do whatever you can to get rid of it if it can, benefit you, because I've just dropped a lot of stuff there. But yeah, the stash at your camp does have a limit to it, and no matter how many stashes you create, the limit is the same. Yeah, the stash amount limit never goes up past what would be 400, but I'm not sure how that is regulated, because a lot of stuff has weight to it. That's why I told you tip number 1, to get your strength up at least for the first 5 levels, just to do that. Because everything in this game has weight, and they are varying weights, and there's different perks that help, lower the weight, which is true, but I don't find them to help that much, Trust me, you're going to want to do the strength thing, first 5 levels at least, because, the first 5 to 10 levels, you just fly by so quickly as you are just doing missions, fighting creatures and whatnot. You will go by the first 5 to 10 levels like that. I've played, granted, though you probably haven't played much as like I have. I've already sunken almost 30 hours into it in like 3 days. I've sunk so much time into Fallout 76. But from my experience, you're gonna want to trust me with these tips. Trust me. First 5 levels, at least do strength. Past that, you might want to do a little more, maybe, or maybe not, because once you come across what are the chassis of, what are those suits called? What are they? The big, I don't know, but yeah, because the thing is that when you find these power armor, that's it, power armor. There we go. My memory is like that tornado game with Cash where you're trying to grab it. It's like trying to grab information. It's challenging sometimes for me, unfortunately, being mentally challenged. But past that, power armor, power suits. They when you come across them, you'll find some with maybe all the armor on it. Probably just not that much. You might come across like one with like the arms and the chest, because I've found varying ones, because they do differ on levels in which you can get them. But the thing is, up until level 25, you're not going to be able to wear any of the power armor. You can only wear the chassis of itself. That's why you always see it, if you come across it, saying, please remove the power armor to wear the chassis. Because, the chassis still helps you out and stuff. It's just not giving you protection is all it is. It doesn't help in the aspects of extra, weight to be carrying stuff. So yeah, power armor does help. Like I said, at some point you're not going to have that much in fusion cells, because I've come across many of the stuff where you can get fusion cells, and those things were like empty, like these generators, and there's like no fusion cell there. So yeah, you're gonna wear the chassis until at least level 25, to where you can finally put some armor on. Because I got like level 25 stuff, level 30 stuff. The varying levels of stuff here is not better, I find, than some RPG games. Stuff like, say, Destiny, where it's like they have guns for every level, which I find stupid, because you just, like, the first 5 to 10 levels of any of these kind of RPG games, you just fly right by them. You just fucking fly past these levels, just you get level 5, level 10, level 15 just so quick. In games like Destiny and stuff, where it's just like, what's the point of this stuff if it, why did you make these things if they're not going to really much ever be used, But yeah, they don't do that in Fallout 76 here, as they usually don't with a lot of the Fallout games. It's like, they varying the levels good, like, not to mention especially, like, it takes a really good amount of time to level up, dude. It's, like I said, I've been playing for almost 30 hours, and I'm not even level 25 yet. Yeah. So yeah, Any other tips? Let me think. Only other tip I can think of is for Bethesda, because there's this. You have a lot of containers you can come across, and there's one called the metal container. A lot of those I've come across have been empty. It's not from. And the thing is, when you come across like containers or creatures you've killed, if the way they've made it is, if you come across a container, any loot that you grab out of there might be different or the same loot that somebody else might get, but it will never, like, if you remove the loot, there will not be loot there for somebody else. There will be loot there for somebody else. So if you come across a container and get loot out of it, you can tell your friends, come over here, I found a container. You might find some loot in here. And they might, because it varies between person to person, what amount of loot, if any loot, if there's, same or different type of loot, it varies. So, but yeah, there's many containers I've come across of the metal container where they were just empty. I'm not sure what was going on there with Bethesda, but seriously, did you just said, well, we have all these containers, but you know what? Fuck it, let's not put much in any of these, because I've come across probably like 2 to 3 metal containers out of like probably 50 that actually had stuff in it. I mean, seriously, wow. Yeah, if like the way they've also made it was if you at least land a shot on enemy and they get downed and killed, you at least get loot there. That's the only way you can get any loot out of a enemy is if you've at least put a shot into him. If you haven't put a shot into him and some other AI or another person kills him, there won't be loot there for you. Which I think is smart. I like that. I like that. It really forces you to, get into the stuff somewhat. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think those are my tips and tricks to starting your adventure out in Fallout 76. Like I said, do number 1 at least. If any of my tips you take from here, take number 1. First 5 levels, level up strict. Trust me, you're gonna want to do it. You're just gonna want to do it. But yeah, I thank you for watching. I hope you're informed. I hope you're entertained. And I hope you have a rock'em sock'em day. Peace.